Welcome back to another delayed episode of the Pod of Aggieland, starring your host, yours truly, Chase Lane, number 2 in the field, number 1 in y'all's hearts. Sorry for the delay, guys. Kind of had some personal things I had to deal with on Monday, so I'm happy to get this episode to y'all for Tuesday, and I'm looking forward to you guys hearing what I have to say. If I sound a little different, my microphone finally came in, so now I can deliver HD quality to you guys, a little ASMR, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what I sound like when I hear the playback. So I'm really excited for my microphone to finally come in. So now I finally feel official. So let's get right into it. So what I did, what I did for last Thursday's episode, I started the episode with the quote of the day. So I'm going to do the same thing for this episode. So the quote of the day for today's episode is, "Don't waste your energy trying to change opinions. Do your thing and don't care if they like it." And that is from the actress Tina Fey. So what does that quote mean exactly to me? It can mean a lot of things, and just to tie it into what has happened in the near present, we took a loss to Mississippi State past Saturday, and it was a very disappointing loss for us. We were very confident going into that game, and after dealing with the loss like that, you deal with a bunch of outside noise and a bunch of naysayers and a bunch of opinions from a lot of different people via social media. We all see it, and as athletes, we all see it. We all see the comments, the negative comments about how we played as a team, from not only fans, but just from the college football world in general. So, the quote says, "Do your thing and don't care if they like it." So, what that means for us is, every day presents a new challenge. Every day presents a new opportunity, and by the grace of God, we are given that opportunity, and we are given that new day to go out there and try to be better. So I think that was what we tried to harp on today in meetings before we went out and practice today. Just look, it happened. We dropped a game that we felt like we should have won, but it's kind of like a so what, now what mentality, and we cannot let the opinions of others dwell our growth and dwell our performance moving on to this Saturday against Alabama. So this week, I feel like we're really just focusing on just blocking out all the opinions, blocking out all the outside noise, and just trying to just focus on us. And that it's easier said than done, but I feel like this team is highly capable of doing so. And at the end of the day, man, all that matters is the people in that locker room, the people in that building, the people a part of that program. Those are the only opinions that matter at the end of the day. So I know we have a lot of young guys on the team, and seeing all the negative comments probably for the first time in their career, it can be a weird feeling for them. But we've all went through it, man, and we just, as a team, we need to just try to just focus on just controlling what we can control, and that is just coming every day, showing up to work every day, and just punching the clock. So on a deeper level of what this quote specifically means to me, I kind of spent some time earlier to brainstorm, because I like to kind of go deeper with things, just activate the brain a little bit. So I'm going to say the quote again. "Don't waste your energy trying to change opinions. Do your thing and don't care if they like it." So what I kind of associated that with was authenticity. So I believe authenticity illuminates the path to live the life that we want to live. So, for instance, when we get clear on what matters the most to us, we'll make decisions that align with our identities and our core values. So through that, we'll begin to build a life that brings meaning and joy. Plus, in doing that, I think we'll inspire those around us to do the same. So in saying that, always strive to be your authentic self in whatever it is you're doing in life. Do not let the opinions of others get you off what you feel like is your path to the success and to the life that you want to live. And tying it back to our team, even though we took a loss, we can't let these naysayers and we can't let the opinions of others distract us from what we still want to do as a team, because now we're in a position to where we can rain on a lot of people's parades. So we can be that team that comes in there and spoils a lot of people's seasons. And we've been in this position before. Hence, we did it last year when we played Alabama. I mean, they still ended up going to the national championship, but we spoiled their undefeated season. So, just blocking out everything, man, and just waking up, putting your head at the pellet at the end of the day, knowing that you punched the clock that day, and just waking up and doing it again. So that's where I am at after a loss, and hopefully so our team is following that same mindset. So moving on, I hope that quote resonates with each of you in some kind of way of capacity. Like I said in the last episode, I would love to know what the quote meant to you guys and how it resonated with you guys individually. So don't be shy. Don't be afraid to get at me. So moving on, I kind of wanted to touch base on with my organization, The Blueprint. I know I talked about it a little bit last episode, my first episode. And if you don't remember, The Blueprint stands for Black Leaders Who Undertake Excellence. And we are a student-athlete-led organization at Texas A&M. And our mission is to provide a safe space for Black student-athletes to be their authentic selves. And I keep going back to authenticity, but to be their authentic selves at a predominantly white institution. So we have a event coming up in 2 weeks. And the theme is a paint and sip. And if you're not familiar with the paint and sip, it's when you kind of you go somewhere, you paint, you sip on a little something. Obviously, we're not going to be having any alcoholic beverages at a school event, but since our event actually takes place on Mental Illness Awareness Week, we are having an exclusive event for our Black student athletes where we're going to come together, paint, just talk, and the focus in the conversation is going to be a focus on mental health issues in the Black community and how we can put an end to those issues and just bring awareness to mental health in the Black community as a whole. So really looking forward to that event, man. I do feel like we're making a huge impact at Texas A&M. And we have a lot of fun events lined up for this semester and the spring semester. So, yeah, we're having a paint and sip. Be tuned in to my Instagram, where if you want to go follow The Blueprint, go give us a follow on Instagram or Twitter, and we'll be recapping moments from that event. So looking forward to that. And the last thing I kind of wanted to get into before I moved on to talking about the game from this past Saturday was just tips to stay motivated. Self-motivation is a big key to one's success. And I feel like at times, that when you're going through tough situations, whether that be athletically following a loss or, you're not where you're at, where you want to be professionally with your job, or just you're in a bad place in your relationship and you're trying to get back on the right place, on the right track, I've kind of put together some tips to stay motivated and to stay looking forward to the new day and what the new challenge brings. So number one is to set realistic goals. What is a realistic goal? So, for instance, I can't say like, oh, I want to okay, let's say I have a problem with following a loss, Mississippi State. Can't come out and say, okay, I want to go there and put 80 points against Alabama next week. 80 points, you have to be realistic in some kind of way. So with anything, make sure you set your realistic goals. Number two, have a healthy support system. I'm a firm believer in a healthy support system can really push you and motivate you into being successful. And I have a great group of people around me in my support system. My dad, my mom, my girlfriend, just to name a few. And just those positive words from them, in those good conversations from them, can be so vital to your growth and into your success. So number 2 is to have a healthy support system. Number 3 is to recognize your roadblocks. So what does that mean? Recognizing your roadblocks is basically saying to acknowledge the adversities that you might have or you might face. So nothing is ever going to be sweet and dandy in dealing with anything in life, because that's life. So once you come to terms with the fact that you're going to have to deal with adversity and go through adversity, it'll make that transition so much easier for you, because you'll know how to navigate through those once you've already recognized them before going through those. So number 3 is to recognize your roadblocks. Number 4 is to be nice to yourself. And when I say be nice to yourself, I mean to show yourself grace. And I have struggled with that in the past. My girlfriend will tell you that firsthand, that I feel like I'm extremely hard on myself when I don't feel like I performed the way I feel like I should have performed, whether that be academically or athletically or just with anything in life. And I feel like she's really taught me the importance of showing myself grace and showing other people grace, and just recognizing at the end of the day you're human, in that things aren't going to go exactly how you plan them to go all the time. You can set out this clear schedule. You can have it laid out, bullet points, whatever, this, that, and the third, man. But at the end of the day, you're human and you're not perfect. So recognizing and acknowledging the fact that you have to be nice to yourself, because that just goes back to self-confidence, self-love, self-esteem. Like that all dials back into just staying motivated, because once you learn to forgive yourself and you learn to show yourself grace, then you'll just begin to just grow as a person overall. So number 4 is to be nice to yourself. Number 5 is to celebrate the small and big victories. And I have a major emphasis on celebrating the small victories, because I feel like they're just as important as the big victories. And I've always been like that. I feel like that's just how I was brought up, just making sure I celebrate everything. And, some people don't believe in celebrating the small victories, but I feel like it's so important to do that, because it allows you to see your progression into where you want to get to. So life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So along the way, I am a firm believer that you need to celebrate those small wins, because it serves as a reassurance into the place or the destination you're trying to get to. So celebrating the small victories as well as the big victories, man. And when I say celebrate, I don't mean throw a big party and, go get drunk and do all that, man. But, just little just notes to self. Like, hey, let's say you're a person who's just struggling to wake up early in the morning. You're trying to wake up early and start your day faster. Like, hey, I was able to wake up at 8:30 all week, and I'm proud of myself for that. Just patting yourself on the back, and that contributes to number 4, which is being nice to yourself and showing yourself great. So number 5 is to celebrate the small and the big victories. And lastly, but not least, number 6 is to strive to stay consistent as possible. So you don't want to, be good one week with your goals to stay motivated and to be successful, and then the next week you fall off. So like I said earlier, yes, we are human. Yes, you have to show yourself grace, but with that grace, you still have to be accountable to yourself and to what you're trying to accomplish. So they all go hand in hand, because when you're trying to be accountable, having that good, healthy support system, those are the kind of people who are going to keep you accountable and keep you on track and keep you honest. So stay consistent as possible. And all these goals, I feel like they complement, all these tips, I feel like they complement each other. So, just if you, I don't say, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I have all the answers, but since I had a little more time to get ready for this episode, I was kind of just brainstorming ideas and, I'm trying to, use this podcast to, just help people along the way, because we all need help in some way, whether we see it or not. So, yeah, man. So those are the 6 tips I have to stay motivated. So moving on to the game breakdown of Mississippi State. Midway through the second quarter, we got out to our slow starts again, and what I kind of said in the Arkansas recap episode is that one day they're going to catch up to us. These slow starts were going to catch up to us, and they did, man. Mississippi State is a really good team, and they were the better team on Saturday. And I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. They outplayed us, they out executed us, and they just came ready to play from the get go. So these slow starts have really been a reoccurring issue with us, especially on offense. And I wish I could like sit here and just like pinpoint what the issue is, but it just goes back to just this execution, man. And I know Coach Fisher has been, getting a lot of negative publicity lately about his offensive system and if it's outdated and things of that nature. But like I said it once, I'll say it again. I'm a firm believer in Coach Fisher and his system. We have to go out there and we have to execute, because if you go back and look at that game, we had 3 trips to the red zone that didn't end up in points. So we left 21 points on the board. Devon, he had a fumble in the red zone. Evan Stewart, he dropped a touchdown in the back of the end zone, and something else. But we are moving the ball. We averaged 10 yards a carry, or like 9.8 to 10 yards a carry, I believe. So we are moving the ball. So I don't think it has anything to do with the play calling. It's just when we get into the red zone and we either had a false start, or we had a bad snap, or we had a drop, we had a fumble. So just those self-inflicted wounds that I talk about on previous episodes, and we have to do a better job of just getting that out of our system. So there's no easier way to put it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys something that I don't believe to be true. So we just got to go out there and just execute better and just do our job at the end of the day. So moving on to the second half, we were down 14-0. Open the drive with the field goal, so it makes it 14-3, but then we come back, and as you all saw, they blocked the field goal and they took it back for a touchdown. So they obviously won the special teams battle on Saturday, and usually the team who makes a big impact on special teams is actually going to be the team who goes on to win the game, because at that point you just have so much momentum. And for the majority of the game, I felt like they had the momentum on their side. And yeah, man, it sucks even talking about it, bro. Excuse my language. I don't mean to call y'all bro, but it sucks just talking about it, because just being in that stadium and just like the fans were rowdy and everything was just going their way for the majority of the game. And you just know that, like, on paper, or just from the eye test, you guys are the better team, but you can't just sit there and say, oh yeah, we're the better team, we got the better guys. You got to go out there and play. So we did not execute for a complete game on all 3 phases of the game. We didn't execute for the entire game, and they won the special teams battle with the blocked field goal return for a touchdown. And for me personally, I feel like at that point, that's when I kind of saw the life starting to be sucked out of our sideline, because, just like that's a play you never really want to be on the receiving end of, is a blocked field goal, because it's just so demoralizing. So, yeah, it hurt, man. And yeah, it hurt. And then their offense was there moving the ball with ease, and they weren't necessarily stopping us on defense. We were really just shooting ourselves in the foot. So that doesn't help either. So all those things contributing, it's kind of hard to win a game or even come back into contending in that game when you put yourself behind the 8-ball like that. But moving on, offense, we're able to get it going in the second half later on. But, Mississippi State, they kept on coming back and trading scores with us. Moose Muhammad, he got his first touchdown on the season on a option route where he had the option of running a post across his face, but if he's playing inside leverage, he can take it over the top like a slot fade. And we got one-on-one coverage. I kind of knew that Moose was getting it from the get-go because they were in cover zero, and it was one-on-one with the nickel. So, Moose came off the ball. Outside released it, slot fade, he just went up there and made a play. So kudos to Moose on getting his first touchdown of the season. Haynes was thrown into the fire. I actually did not know that Max got hurt because I wasn't on the field at the time. But he broke his thumb, as everybody knows. But I don't even know what play it happened on, but they came back and like the next two plays, he threw one ball to Chris Marshall and he like lobbed it to him. And then the next play, he threw a ball to Devon, a chain out of the backfield. And he lobbed it to him, and then he ran off the sideline. So I'm like, dang, like what's wrong with him? So he couldn't grip the ball because it was a throwing hand. So he couldn't grip the ball. So Haynes was thrown into the fire. He came in there, and it's always hard to come into an environment like that when obviously you prepare to play, but you never really actually think you're going to be playing, especially like at the quarterback position, and because you're only going in unless the starter gets hurt. So Haynes was thrown into the fire. He came in there. He scored for us. He got us a touchdown. Kind of made ease the bleeding a little bit. So I was happy to see him get in the end zone. Just kind of for his confidence. You could kind of see that he was excited when he scored it. He kind of like galloped into the end zone. So I was happy for him. LJ Johnson, he was our final touchdown of the day. And, he's been coming along, man. He's a young guy, been through a lot already. So I'm really just happy to see the young guys have success, especially the guys who have had to deal with adversity and, just trying to trust themselves on the field. We scored on 5 of 7 drives in the second half. I feel like we had a sense of urgency, and we were noticing that the clock was ticking, and we were still trailing by a big deficit. So there was some sense of urgency, and just trying to find any way to just come back into the game. So I don't think anything special happened. We were still calling the same plays for the most part. They put up 42 points, and that is rare for our defense, having that many points scored on them. I've always been a person who has preached about our defense and how talented we are, and I will continue to do that to this day. I'm not going to make any excuses for our defense, but Mississippi State's offense is a high-tempo, air raid scheme. They are going to throw the ball the majority of the game, and when they do hand the ball off, it's going to be a halfback draw up the field. And it's kind of hard when we only have 3 down linemen, but that's our defensive scheme. So, we trust Coach Durkin to put our guys in the right position for them to be successful. But Will Rogers, he's a great quarterback. He was making all the right reads, except for in the first quarter. We could have had like 2 or 3 interceptions on him, but just didn't make the play. But Will Rogers, he's a great quarterback. He's got some great playmakers around him. Like I said, they're a really talented group of guys, offense and defense. They came out. I remember they hit us. They tried to throw a go ball on Denver Harris in the red zone, and they missed it the first time, and then they went right back to it and scored. And then like with 3 minutes up, they're up big by like more than 2 touchdowns, and they're still throwing the ball. So that's just Mike Leach. Anybody who has followed college football for a good amount of time knows about his history at Texas Tech and the aggressive play caller he is. So, kudos to them, man. They put their players in the right position in order for them to be successful, and they went out there and executed better than we did, and they got the job done. So, yeah, I feel like I deal with losses in a very professional way. Yes, I'm upset that we lost, but at the end of the day, I feel like I'm mature enough to realize that, look, if we didn't deserve to win, I'm gonna straight up tell you guys that we didn't deserve to win, and we did not show that we were the better team on Saturday. They came out there, they executed, they got their crowd behind them, and they were not afraid of us. And at this level, there's no reason to be afraid of anybody. So. They came out there, they got the job done, like I keep saying, and kudos to them, man. And we have to be better. We have to look in the mirror. We have to realize what we did wrong. We have to realize where our mistakes were. And I kind of hate that everyone is kind of saying oh, we're a young team. We got a lot of new guys, but that's not really an excuse. And yeah, we do have young guys on the team, young guys who are very talented and who I do feel like are getting it as the season goes along, but it's not an excuse. And it's on everybody's part. The older guys, we got to do a better job of bringing the younger guys along, and the younger guys have to do a better job of wanting to be led to come along. So it's on everybody's part. It's no one to blame. It's a team effort. We win together. We win together. We lose together. So I don't want to see like, I'm going to see it, but I don't like seeing like, oh, we're a young team, like, because I'm not a fan of excuses. So we just have to be better as a team because there's no age limit on success. So we have to come out at the end of the day and we have to execute. So on that, moving forward on the season this year, I have 3 catches for 31 yards. And I'd be lying if I sat here and told you guys that I'm content with those numbers. I am confident in my abilities and what I'm able to do in the field, on the football field. I've kind of had to adjust to a newer role, and in that role, I've just been helping bringing these young guys along, and while still, just being ready for whenever my number's called and just being that good teammate. But I don't let it get to me that bad because, like I kind of said in my tips, to stay motivated, I have that good support system, and I'm able to have those talks with my dad and my mom and my girlfriend and just mentors in my life that just keep me grounded. So, I don't let it bother me too much because I know what I'm capable of at the end of the day. And I know that God has my back through everything. So, I'm a big believer. I've said it many times before. I'm a big believer in God, and I know that he's got good things for me on the football field in the future. Hopefully in the near future, but just in the future in general, I know God's got my back through everything. And, when my number's called, I'm going to be ready to go out there and make a play. But right now I'm really focusing on just doing my job, practicing hard, giving good effort, and just being that good teammate that I've always been. So everybody knows me. I'm a team guy. I put the team first through everything. And I do feel like it'll be rewarded at some point. And whenever it is, I know I'll be ready for it. So not the season that I had in mind for myself going thus far, especially because I had a good spring ball this past spring. I had a good fall camp. Well, like I said earlier, life doesn't always go the way that you think it's gonna go, and it's all about how you adjust and respond to those adversities. So I'm gonna continue to show up every day. I'm gonna continue to go to work every day for my teammates. I'm gonna strive to be the best player, best guy in that locker room, best guy on that field, and the best guy off the field. And just be ready to make a play for my team whenever my number's called. So that's all you can really do when you're in a position like I am. And just put your head in the pillow at the end of the day and just be content with what you did during that day. So yeah, man. So this has been another great episode of the Pod of Aggie Land. I really hope I sounded good with this new microphone. Hopefully. But yeah, I'm really, I keep saying I really do appreciate all the support that the fans and, just family and friends are showing me with this podcast. And, if you haven't gotten your season passes yet for the exclusive Thursday episodes, go do that as well. And, I appreciate all the support, y'all. So, peace out, and it's all love.
Yeah, this is perfect.